alone. Yeah. I mean, all the videos are coming through, so. Okay. It says excellent connection. Live. All right. So this is day 19 of live lead generation. So for those of you that don't know or haven't been watching this, lead generation, I just realized the other day that's probably something I could qualify. So lead generation is the act of going out and generating leads. A lot of these folks are people that have come into us from other sources. Some of these people are people that I've cold called and created. The majority of who we're going to call today are people who have registered on our website saying, please help me, I have a house and I want to sell it. So we're going to call these people individually, one by one, which is a little bit of a pain, but we should get a pretty good answer rate because they've been in here doing their own thing for a little bit. So there's a thing called analysis paralysis. When you spend too much time doing research on the person that you're about to call, instead of just calling them. So I'm going to trust you to keep me accountable. I'm doing 3 things. I'm pulling up their property so I have it in front of me. I'm verifying that they own the house, and then I'm calling them. No more, no less.
Verifying property?
Yep. I would just want to make sure I pull it up and make sure that they are the ones that indeed own that property.
Okay.
That's it.
No more, no less?
No more, no less.
All right.
Which means that I also probably need to log into my MLS so I can do that. Because what oftentimes happens is we'll get people who will go in and fill it in information for a property that they're renting just to kind of see, what their landlord's house is worth.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. I've been guilty of that when I was a tenant.
Oh, yeah.
But it means that they're not an active lead.
They're
not who we're trying to talk to today, at least. Everybody could be a lead. They'll probably buy a house at some point. But so in this case, boom, here we go. Got the property, got the address. David Hagan. Here we go. Let's give him a call. If you could ever figure out a way for me to be able to click this button and it just automatically dial on my iPhone, that'd be cool. But if this was a Google phone or a Microsoft phone or something like that, I think it would work. But
I think I know something that could help you with that.
okay, let me know if you figure it out, because yeah, that'd be interesting. Ooh, I need a haircut.
Hello?
Yes, hi, David.
Yes.
Hi, David. My name's Chris Beer. You spoke with one of my associates yesterday about your property there on Waterview Drive.
Yes.
They mentioned you might be interested in selling this one, and I was just curious if you could catch me up to speed. What are your plans on this house?
Well, like I was telling
Molly?
the lady that we had the conversation yesterday,
Sure.
my wife had passed away
Oh, I'm sorry.
recently,
Okay.
and so I'm still trying to unwind things.
Okay.
What I mentioned to her was basically that was one of the items that I was giving some consideration to.
Was selling. Okay.
And I'm not totally sure, it's just something that is crossing my mind.
I understand.
So I'm still working with the attorneys.
Okay.
The death certificate was
Sure.
pending. I mean, I have 2 copies of it, but the other 8 I'm holding off on until they're able to do that cause of death.
I understand. Oh, David, I'm so sorry. It sounds like she's recently passed then.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't it's a lot of things that I don't have even together yet.
No, that's understandable. It's unfortunately a common thing that we deal with in my line of work. Just so you know, I am also a licensed realtor. So one of the reasons that we reach out in this way is more so to see who is interested or entertaining the option of selling. And then from that point, our job isn't to come in and lowball you or make you an offer that could potentially be considered insulting or, as a real estate agent might do, just insist that you list the property with us and give us the listing. Really, at the end of the day, our job is just to give you information and options so that you can make a sound business decision. And then if any of the options that we are able to present to you make sense, fantastic. If they don't, that's okay. There are many situations where I actually encourage the people that I'm working with or that I'm presenting these options to reconsider selling altogether if I feel it's not in their best interest. But ultimately, it's your decision what makes the most amount of sense for you, okay?
Right.
So, with that said, I know it sounds like you're still pretty early in the process of, getting your wife's affairs in order. What would you say would be a timeline that would be reasonable for if and when you should decide to sell this property here on Waterview, that you'd like to be moving and making that move, essentially?
Well, and am at work, so I can't continue.
Sure. No.
Application record, I'm trying to get some engagement letters out. I think it's going to be a minimum of 2 months before I can really focus on it.
Sure. I understand.
And I thought I made it clear to the lady yesterday.
Yeah, I get notes that are a little scratchy, so I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying that
Sure.
it would be at least 2 months
Okay.
before I'm gonna. I need to talk to some members of the family.
Sure.
One wants me to move to OKC where they live.
Gotcha.
The other one wants me to move closer to McKinney.
Okay.
But there's enough distance that, I don't see them regularly at this point.
Yeah, of course.
But anyways, if you'll let me get back to work.
Yes, sir. Yeah, David, what's a good email address for you? I'll go ahead and send you my information so you've got it on hand, and I'll touch base with you in about a month or so, if that's okay.
At least 2 months.
At least 2 months? Okay, yeah, no problem. I can do that.
Okay, well, you could send it. You could go ahead and send it to my office at this point.
Okay.
But I'm going to switch that as soon as I get my printer
No worries.
fixed at home, etc.
Sure.
Because my personal one, in fact, you could even probably best to send it there.
Okay.
And that is D.M. Hagen. That's Hagen. So David Matthew Hagen.
Got it.
CPA. Charles Paul Apple.
Yeah.
At AOL.com.
Got it. Okay. Yep, I've got DM Hagen CPA at AOL.com.
That's correct.
Got it. Okay, David. Well, yeah, I've got you down here. You'll get an email from me shortly, just with my contact information. Feel free to do any research you'd like to on me, and I'll let you get back to work. But my condolences again. I appreciate you taking my call, and we'll be in touch soon. Okay.
All right. Thank you much.
Thank you, David. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
So, it's a common occurrence that we're dealing with people who have recently gone through a loss. We try and be sensitive as we can, and also understanding that, as uncomfortable as it may be, he knows it. He knows it as well as most people know it. They have a business decision to make.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. So, and some folks delay that business decision, and I never encourage them go any faster than they'd like to. In this case, at least 2 months, I honestly think is reasonable. Because, I know some people wait, upwards of multiple years before they make that decision as far as what to do with a property that either they've inherited or, like in this instance, they were living with another person and that person is no longer with them. So they can't justify. It sounds like he may potentially be a single man. Looks like Forewarn is telling me he is 79 years old. in a 2,700 square foot house, pretty far removed from his next closest family. So, he's well aware of his situation. He knows he has this business decision on his hands. When he's ready to entertain it, it's my job to make this business decision as smooth, as easy, and as logical as I can. But good contact, good lead, and do the same thing. So because I'm not in Mojo here, I'm going to take all of my notes here. I'm going to set my to-dos, my follow-ups, and I'm going to send him an email straight from here, and then we're going to move on to the next one. Go ahead.
About the
Mm-hmm.
what's it called? The where you want to call like directly, you put that into your phone.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple websites.
Oh,
that
really?
Allow you just to put your phone number in there,
Yeah.
and it'll just call directly on your computer. And there's another app, and you have Windows 11, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's an app where you can mirror your screen onto your
Oh.
PC
Oh, okay.
from iPhone.
And so then I would just be able to kind of just copy and paste into there and hit
I think
call.
so.
Okay. Yeah, cool. If you don't mind doing a little bit of research on that, because that's definitely something that I run into recently, especially doing this. I used to be able to just, hey Siri, dial this number, but just for, see, she heard me. I don't want to do that because I want to maintain some level of privacy, both for the integrity of our leads, but also for the privacy of the people that we're speaking with. I don't
Yeah.
want them to get bombarded on accident. So. So good lead hygiene is to, right here in this moment while I've just recently gotten off the phone, take as many notes as I can on the conversation that we just had, even some of the information that may not seem relevant to our future conversations, because it shows I care, right? It gives some level of like, hey, based on the last conversation that we had, I know we discussed this, X, Y, or Z, and being able to just demonstrate that, like, hey, we cared enough to remember, we cared enough to write this down. This is obviously important to him. We do our best not to treat these people just like a lead, or like just a lead rather, but treat them on a more human level. So the more of our conversation that we can encapsulate here, the less I have to personally remember, which means it's more volume I can maintain. And then also it gives me a good opportunity to have a conversation with him next time that's highly contextualized, because I know what we talked about last time. So in this case, I'm going to say David recently lost his wife, is in the middle of sorting all of her affairs. He mentioned he is at least 2 months away from being able to focus on the sale. He has at least 2 family members encouraging him to move closer to them, either in OKC, which is Oklahoma City, or McKinney. He seemed to be saddened and slightly overwhelmed with her passing. And I include that detail mostly for my own records so that when I speak to him next, I understand a little bit of the frame of mind and the mindset that he was in when we spoke, so that the next time we call, I can approach with a level of sensitivity that's appropriate. I don't want to be, hey, David, remember me? We spoke last time, like that kind of stuff. I want to make sure that I understand the mindset that he's in. And then if for whatever reason he is in better spirits the next time we talk, that's great. But again, just for the purposes of maintaining some level of sensitivity. And it's not necessarily like just strategy as much as it is like, I want to feel good about these calls that I'm making. And that's one of the biggest issues most people have with lead generating, with making cold calls and talking to people in this way, especially during, any type of life crisis such as this. The way that you get around that sensation that maybe you're doing something icky is by being a human being. treating these people like human beings. I never feel like I made an inappropriate phone call or had an inappropriate conversation. If I ever do, I typically end the conversation right away, and I say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me call you later." I literally spoke to a woman who solicited my call. She went onto my website and basically asked me multiple times to reach out to her, that had lost her husband the night before. Like, he had literally just passed away. The coroner left with his body not a couple hours before I called her, because that night he passed, and the only thing that she could think to do in trauma was to immediately start addressing, oh no, what am I going to do now? I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do this. And so in that situation, I just told her, like, we don't have to have this conversation right now. Well, go process and handle, and I'll call you in a month or two. And she's like, yeah, that's perfect. So okay, so we're gonna go back here.
Oh yeah, I figured it. Yeah. It's called Phone Link.
Phone link.
Yeah. You just download it on your phone, download it on the PC, and then
Okay,
just look it up.
cool. Before we move on to this next one, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Real fast.
Thank you.
All right, on to the next one. I actually have to call an agent, so I'm gonna put this on mute real quick. Sorry, everybody, muting you guys because I have to have a confidential conversation with an agent about a transaction we're in. So, 1 second. So, all right, that's it, guys. Sorry about that. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next lead. See what we got going on here. So, she has no. Oh man, see, this is another one of those where she's elderly and has some health problems and needs to sell because of that. So, not my favorite conversations to have, just because they make me sad. But ultimately, I'm excited to make calls like this because it looks like there is a problem here that I might be a good solution for. So I'm in the business of solving problems. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I do for a living, is I solve problems. That's why I get paid.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Again, just verifying. Oh, I got a buddy calling me. Hey, brother, how's it going?
It's going, did you ever talk to my climber?
I called him and it went straight to voicemail, and I honestly moved right on to the next thing, and I didn't get a chance to call him back. So I don't know if his phone was off or maybe he was on Do Not Disturb. But no, I have not talked to him yet.
Yeah, I'll see him here in a little bit, but
Give
I'll try to set a reminder.
him my number. Yeah, give him my number and let him reach out to me.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool.
Yeah, and what did it say about that house? I seen the address the other day. Did it say anything about it, or?
Let's see. The Lock Chalet. I can pull it up right now.
Yeah, it's just a badass. It needs like a lot of work, but it's like a badass tucked away house. I mean, I just didn't know who actually owned it.
Oh, you do know them? Because they've got a badass name.
No, I don't know them.
Their name is very, very Scandinavian. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this person is like either Swedish or maybe even like Norwegian, because their name is Tove Astis Asgard Stoltenberg Strader.
That's pretty fucking sweet.
That's pretty fucking sweet. Yeah, that's an awesome name. They don't live there though. They live in 76016 over by Martin.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's like cartel guys. Like hired me to work over there, and
You did not
I'm
just say.
even fucking, not even fucking around. Not even fucking around. And I thought maybe they bought the house or something or whatever. You know.
No, I'm seeing that. It looks like this person bought the house in 2018. Yeah, it looks like they bought it in 2018. Oh, no, I take that back. They bought it in 2014 and refinanced it in 2018. So he actually goes by Eric Strader, but his real full first name on title is Tove Astis Asgard is his first name.
He's probably a Viking.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a very, very Scandinavian name. I would guess probably, like I said, either Swedish or Norwegian.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right on. Does it say it's for sale online or anything like that, or no?
That's what I'm looking up right now. It doesn't look like it's actively listed on the market, but I'm checking to see if it's for sale by owner or anything like that. No, it looks like it's not for sale at all. I can try and track down the phone number, though, see if I can get in contact with them. So this is in Lockengreen. I'm pretty sure Lockengreen is an elder community. I think it's a 55 and over community. Or it could just be townhomes. I could be wrong about that. But I know we've done some work in Lockengreen for people who are looking for like a retirement community kind of area.
Lockengreen, I've never been in there. It's on the other side of the little the water.
Yeah. It was a gated community though, right? You had to like drive past the...
Well, no, like that Lockengreen is on the back side. Like when you're on this dude's back porch.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been over there, but I could see it, and I thought, man, those are crazy looking like houses over there. But I didn't know Lockengreen was that. I had no idea, but I saw it for the first time. So
yeah, okay, yeah, I'm seeing now here that this is Lockengreen Village, which very well could just be different. So, yeah, no, I'm looking through the Google Street View. This looks like it's a normal neighborhood. I've actually never sold anything in this neighborhood. That doesn't happen that often. Most neighborhoods in Arlington I've done something in. We've sold something in Lockengreen.
yeah. Well, the only other thing I had for you today was I want to touch base again with that guy about that fixer-upper.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I
on
don't know.
on Texas or
I'll look
whatever it
up,
was.
but I don't remember the name, the address.
I know which one you're talking about though, because he owned that other one. Yeah, the one where like it was like it's still in mom's name and mom died like a long time ago and that stuff.
Well, there's that one, but this other one is even more sweet of a deal. I feel like it's the guy like owns the house outright. His brother lived there. His brother died, and it's got like you just come see it, dude. It has like a fucking ton of potential. Great neighborhood, and it's like been vacant for years, dude.
Okay.
And the guy, I did some tree work. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna cut this and this, but the guy's dying.
Oh,
And I
damn.
told him, I said, look, I'll just fucking buy the property from you outright.
Right.
And that's what he wants to do because dude, he's not going to do any, like, it's,
Right. It's too big of a project for him.
Fuck, dude, it's a big project. Yeah, it's a big project for anybody, but
Yeah.
it's got, like, the dude Ford, like, you can have a park in the back, like, parking in the back. And
Okay.
he had, like, a 30 or something foot boat back there one time. Like, it's a 3/4 of an acre lot. Like, it's right by Fielder Park. It's over
Oh,
there.
really?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's Pier and Bean,
I like that.
has parking in the back, right? Like 2-car garage in the back, but then it has like where you can back your car up and then pull out. If that makes sense, like the little.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, little turnaround.
Yeah, dude.
Like a 3-point turn.
Yeah, tons of fucking potential. And I was gonna offer the guy like $100,000 for the property.
Wow. What street is it on?
Yeah. Don't catch me lying. I'm fucking driving here. Let me see.
Oh, and don't forget, I want you to take a tree out of my yard whenever you have time.
Oh yeah, I knew when I called it was gonna get brought up.
That's okay. Oh, hey man, I'm not stressing about it.
Let me stop because I can't look because the maps goes through my truck.
You're good. Just send me the address and I'll look it up today.
Yeah, I'll send it.
Cool. All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right, buddy. Bye. It's my tree guy.
The tree guy.
Yeah. He's my buddy too, but he's funny, man. I love him.
I can tell he's like, bro, that's a damn bike.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious, man. He's probably one of my like, and I can say this with like all the love in the world. He might be my most redneck friend, which like you gotta have like.
Bro, they're hilarious. I'm
Oh,
not
it's
gonna lie with you. They're
awesome.
hysterical.
I'm trying to get him to let me come out to his land out in I can't remember if it's either Grayford or Groesbeck, or he's got land out in the middle of nowhere. I need to go out there
Does he
with
have a
him.
diesel truck? A really big diesel.
He's got a diesel truck. He's got a Harley. He's got all the cool stuff,
I
man.
can tell he's a good mechanic too.
I bet you he absolutely is,
I probably
man.
like for me, like being around a bunch of mechanics, I can tell you rednecks, they're out there. They're really,
They know their way around an engine, that's for sure.
for sure.
All right, so let's get on this next call. Right, I want to pull her back up. So, Jackson, morning. Have you have you started that book I told you about?
Oh, it's coming in today.
Oh, you ordered it. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were gonna audible it or not.
No, I'm gonna start it soon. It should be here by tonight.
Cool. It's one of my favorite ones. You'll have to let me know what you think of that one. It's good. It's good. It's good for the brain.
Been real close to finishing that book.
Finishing it or get like what we have to have for team meeting. Damn.
I just been reading it. There's a lot of good information. Yeah,
I'm gonna read it.
It's one of those books where I think I'm gonna have to read multiple times.
I agree with that. That's how I feel about ninja selling. I need to go back and read ninja selling again. There's probably a bunch of stuff I could pull out of ninja selling all over again.
Reading that and then listening to stuff on Substitute, it makes a lot more sense. Like
Oh,
how
absolutely.
they're setting up traps and whatnot.
I'm glad to hear that you're listening to stuff on Sub 2. That's another thing that I feel like it's one of the reasons why I got this school here, so I can like, get back into like education because
Yeah.
I like basically all I have time for right now is like a little bit of lead gen and management. So yeah.
I want to ask you something. So, like, if a house,
Mm-hmm.
let's say 1,200 square feet,
Okay.
doesn't have anything inside, just the bones, just
Cool.
the wood.
Yeah.
How much rehab budget do you think we need? It needs everything, according.
I would say try and be under 45% ARV.
45% ARV.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at this one and grandparent.
Okay. 1,200 square feet, right?
It closes late July.
What kind of foundation?
I'm not sure. So this is, I think it's a slab.
Oh, yeah, I saw this one. Was it in DFW Investment Group?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's where I got it from. They want 120 and ARV's 275. I just looked it up and it is 275.
It is 275.
Mhm. But it closes late July, and I don't know if we could use that comp.
Did it burn? Why is it empty?
Did it burn? I'm not sure. I just got the message.
Off from 100.
Offer him 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, it's to 3-2.
Yeah, there's no demo there. We'd have to redo the siding. I don't like if that was a brick house, I'd be like 120 would probably work just fine.
The siren. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like that there's no surprises because it's already down to the sticks.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that one. You said ARV is 275 for sure.
275. Yeah.
I mean that's probably 50K rehab. So yeah, we
50K. We have.
150 all in. Holding costs maybe gets us to 165. Yeah, that's a good spread. 275 after closing costs is gonna have us at like 248 net.
Yeah, 248, and then you said minus 50 for rehab
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean that's a good 80-90 deal at 100.
at 100.
Mm-hmm. At 120, it's like
Yeah.
60-70. Yeah,
It's at
97.5. Damn, I'm good.
well, that's at 100.
Yeah, that's at 100. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
at
120 was a 77.
77.
So that 50K rehab for a potential. So again, whatever it says it's gonna be,
Yeah.
knock 20K off, right? Because if it says it's gonna be a 77 deal, maybe that's really a 57 deal. 50K worth of rehab for 50K profit, kind of sucks. It doesn't suck. It's doable, right? That's kind of like the bare minimum. But I really like it where it's like could be 100, but at least 75. Then I really like that
Wait,
deal.
for the profit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like I said, I mean, it's like you look at, we're gonna end up right at 40K rehab on Longfield, like
Yeah.
right at it. It's gonna be like, if anything, it might end up being like 41 or 40 and change. So that's why I say like that's $15,000 more than we were expecting.
It is. Yeah.
A lot of that was just because the foundation was like the instant kick in the teeth. The siding was more expensive than we thought it was going to be. HVAC, we kind of already knew that was going to be there. Really, it was materials and labor was more than I had hoped for. But really, like we're almost done on that one. So I'm happy with it. Even at 40K, I don't see any reason why that one doesn't sell for 225.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 0.95. I haven't done this in a while, so it's actually probably a good thing you're here. Let's see. So, boop, boop, doo, 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 doo. So, like as of right now, we're at 32 without the siding and the floors. Floors start today. He's there this morning doing the floors.
How long is that going to take?
The siding, 2
well,
days.
No, the floors.
2 days.
2 2 days.
2 days. So it's
Yeah.
$3,900 for pretty much everything, but I still need to buy the laminate. So he's gonna call me this morning for the laminate. The laminate's probably gonna be like an extra $500-600.
Okay.
So,
And siding, you said they're getting material this Friday, so
Yeah.
they should start next week.
and that's $1,800 in labor. I don't know what the material is gonna be yet.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Then I'll drop by again on Friday.
Okay. So, but yeah. So let's say closing costs, 40K in rehab. We got 15. Let's say 16 in cash in the deal. And then what did we buy it at? 105?
105, yeah.
105. So I'm missing something, but that's a $52,000 deal. 53,000 in profit, give or take. I know I'm missing something there. Oh, we'll have another payment to Bossy. So knock $1,000 off of that. Maybe even I'd say knock 2 off because we'll probably have another payment or 2 to Bossy before we close it.
Okay.
Because our last payment was April 28th, so we'll have the next one May 28th, and probably another one June 20th. By the time this next payment we should be going on the market, which means we'll probably have another payment. So, yeah, I mean, $50,000 profit. It's a little bit less than we expected, but that's what I said. We were hoping for 70. It's going to be about 50, still
Yeah.
within the range that we were hoping to be in. So,
Yeah.
not a bad day.
No.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. By the way, Andy's not coming in today.
I know he's at the birthing center today. Yeah.
How?
Yeah, he said he had a birthing center appointment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
baby appointment. He had a baby appointment. He had baby stuff to do.
Mhm.
I told him to have fun. I told him I hope it's a boy. They're not finding out, man. They're keeping that stuff a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, birthing center. Yeah, it was birthing center. So good for him. That's awesome. I have yet to meet Steph. We'll have to do a team dinner or something soon. You'll have to go get your big booty Latina before that, so we can all be together
Okay.
and introduce her to the team.
Cool. Yeah. All right. I'm excited.
Cool. That's his goal, by the way. I'm not wishing him a big booty Latina. That's what he wants. You're on stream.
Oh. Thanks.
That's part of the 2023 goals.
Yeah. That's yeah. Well, I appreciate you wishing good things on me.
Absolutely, man. Every day, all day. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
That's right.
I remember there's like 2 things that's happening on Thursday. What are they?
Broker meeting and
Broker meeting?
yeah, so my dad just wants to give a quick update from his perspective, just see what I actually don't know what he wants to talk about, but he wants to talk about something, and then brokerment training.
Broker meeting and broker meeting.
Yeah, Tammy will be in here tomorrow to go over brokerment with us.
What time?
It's on the calendar. I think. Should be on the calendar. 11:30.
30.
Did I send it to you? Yeah, I sent it to you.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah, so expecting an hour to hour and a half, so 11:30 to about 1-ish. I don't know how, like I said, I don't really know what my dad wants to talk about, but I imagine it's something to the tune of just making sure that we're all aware of any changes that are happening, documents that we need to be using, etc. Just standard of practice. I mean, his whole job is just to keep us from getting sued.
Yeah.
So that is probably something along the lines of, here's what I need y'all to do so that we don't get sued. So
I know we're going away from .loop. I'm putting in a lot of like offers in here.
yeah,
Yesterday I was just.
it'll be with us for the rest of the year.
Okay.
So it's not disappearing on us, at least through the end of the year. So feel free to continue using it. Don't feel like you got to migrate anything out of there yet. Like we won't end our relationship with .loop at least until the end of this year. So you have that long to get familiar with brokerment and start. I would say just have a goal. I would say maybe shoot for like August, September to be doing whatever you're doing in .loop right now to be doing in brokerment.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's just because, Loop got bought by Zillow. Brokerman is integrated with all the other stuff that we do. Loop's not, which is kind of nice because it lets us kind of fuck around and learn in Loop. We can go in there and create an offer, play with documents, play with amendments. Brokerment will be a little bit more expertise driven. You'll have to have a purpose. It won't be as easy to just go in there and like fuck around. because whatever you do fuck around with in there is going to be like reflected on like our actuals and our projections and all that kind of stuff. So it'll like actually integrate into our
I
business
see
plan.
what you're
So,
saying. Okay.
so like right now, if you go create something in Dotloop and it doesn't turn into anything, you can just leave it be. In Brokerment, it'll be imperative that you like archive it out, and like if it doesn't turn into anything, get rid of it so that it's not it's not showing up on our record. So, but yeah, for right now, you're good. Keep using Dotloop. I'll probably keep using Dotloop through the end of the year also for that kind of stuff. Just be able to draw up documents real fast. But we'll see. Apparently, Brokerment's actually easier to use than Dotloop. I don't know that to be the case yet, but that's also because I barely tried.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yep. But yeah, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Cool.
Yeah. No.
All right, Rusky. Yes, sir. Back to the Legion. So I invited that one, but like one of the things I'll have you do is like protect my door. Which again, that one I'm not really talking about. I'm going to talk about like in the future because I technically like I actually asked him to come in here, but yeah, like, protecting my door, protecting my Legion time. Yes, hi Carolyn. Hi Carolyn, this is Chris Beery. You spoke with my associate 2 days ago about your property there that you've got on Willara Drive.
Yes.
They mentioned that you might be interested in selling that property, and I was just reaching out to see what your plans were.
Okay, I might possibly be interested in selling it in the near future.
Okay.
You know, depending on, you know, the offer I get and a couple of other things, but I definitely am seriously considering selling it.
I understand. Okay. Well, just so you know, I am an investor and a licensed realtor. So, you know, my job isn't really to come in there and just lowball you or come in there and try and convince you to list the house with me. My job at the end of the day is to give you options and information so that you can make a sound business decision. If for whatever reason my options don't make sense for you, I'll be the first one to tell you. I would rather turn you down now than let you down later. But really, you know, what I'd like to know from you today is, you know, what are you hoping to accomplish? Is this going to be like a downsize? Are you hoping to cash in on this and relocate, or what were you hoping to do?
I'm relocating, but I'm planning to move into a senior apartment.
Oh, okay. I see. All right. So have you already lined up that facility, or are you still looking for one?
No, I haven't. I have my daughter's helping me with this. She has one in mind, but we have, you know, we're not at the stage actually to commit for it, so but we do have something in mind.
Gotcha. Okay. And then, you know, assuming that, you know, one of the solutions that we're able to provide for you makes sense, when were you hoping all of this would come together?
I could possibly move within the next 2 months.
Oh, wow. Okay. Just, I only ask so that I know how I can help. Obviously, there's no rush on our end. We want you to do what's comfortable for you, but I just want to make sure I know what your timeline is so I can
Right,
act
I mean, I'm
appropriately.
no rush. I mean, it could be 6 months from now or a year.
Okay.
That's a possibility within 2 months.
So I would say 2 to 6.
No earlier than 2 months.
No earlier than 2 months, yeah. So I would say even 2 to 6 months is a time frame that we can accommodate if we end up being your buyer. That's an easy time frame to accommodate. I've got some folks that I'm purchasing their property from them, and we're not closing until October. So, you know, that's a very common occurrence, and sometimes it does give some peace of mind knowing like, hey, I've got it done. I don't have to worry about this anymore. Now I just have to worry about all the other stuff that comes along with moving. The house is sold. Now you move. So, you know, with that said, would there be a good time for me to come by and we can go through these options together and I can give you a good idea of what might be a reasonable expectation for you?
Okay, I would need to have my daughter.
Of course.
here for that.
Yeah.
She traveled, she's gone most of the time traveling with her job, so I'm gonna have to settle back, you know.
Sure. Okay. So when would you say I'll take that as it might be best to let you connect with her and then me give you a call back to set something up? When should I give you a call back? About a week? Okay.
I know she's in town right now, probably not,
No worries.
but about a week.
Okay, yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'll go ahead and make a note here, and what I'll do is I'll just give you a call next Wednesday and see if we can set something up around this time. Is that okay?
That's fine. And what company are you with? What company?
Sure. My name's Chris Beery. I actually manage and operate the company that I co-own with my dad. It's called Beery Nice Homes. We're a small real estate brokerage here in Arlington, so we're not too far away from you. I'd say we're about our actual office is probably only about 15 minutes from your house.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. All right. Well, if you want to just give me a call back, maybe in a week or so.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll have been able to connect with her by then.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you use email by chance so I can send you my information?
Yes, I do.
What's a good email address for you? And I'll send you my information so you have it on hand.
CSTER767 @gmail.
So I just want to make sure I have that correct. So I have CSTER767 @gmail.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, Carolyn, I'll send you an email here today so you have my information on hand. I look forward to talking with you again, and I'll give you a shout next Wednesday, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Some days are great, right? Like some days it's just like back-to-back successes, so.
You got someone you're gonna call back in 2 months, someone you're gonna call back in a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the first two.
That's just the first two. Which actually reminds me, I forgot to send that other guy an email, so I'm going to go ahead and log this call. And so this is cool. So I'm here. I'll show you my workflow. So here we go. We've got a lead that's already in here. You know, otherwise I might put them in here if this is a brand new person, but in this case they're already in our CRM. So this little phone sign, I can log a call, and I have options. I can either say I've talked to the prospect, I left them a message, I attempted to call them but no message, they opted out of being called, or this was the wrong number. In this case, I talked to this prospect. I'm going to make here in this section the notes of the conversation that we just had. Carolyn is planning on selling her home and moving into a senior apartment. She could move in as little as 2 months, but it all depends on the offer, solutions she has available. Her daughter is heavily involved in the decision-making process and travels for her work. Carolyn asked that I call her back in a week to give her time to arrange a meeting with her and her daughter. So take that note. We'll go ahead and schedule it for 7 days from today, would be May 17th. So we schedule that. We're also going to go ahead and send her an email. It just says, "It was nice talking to you. It says, "Hello, Carolyn. It's a pleasure speaking with you this morning. Below is my contact and brokerage information. Feel free to research our company and our reviews. I look forward to speaking next Wednesday." Please don't hesitate to reach out sooner if you have any questions or concerns. Send. And then I've already got a follow-up scheduled, so I won't do that. I do want to stick this follow-up on my calendar for the same reason. So anytime that I've got somebody who's like really time sensitive, where it's like, cool, they are actually going to do something. Because some follow-ups I'm setting for 90 days out, and there's a really, really low likelihood that they're going to turn into anything, even on the next phone call. them I don't put on my calendar. The people that are high likelihood they're going to be something on my next phone call, I put on my calendar just so that I don't accidentally move past them or accidentally deprioritize them for one reason or another. Okay, so
So the closer, what should I say? You wanna?
I want to stick them on my calendar just as an extra precaution that I don't forget, because then I get a notification. It's like, hey, call this person. And I actually need to go back to David Hagan from our last phone call because I did not send him an email.
So these guys are like higher priority since they're closer.
Correct. Boom. Pull that out. Okay, I'm going to go back here. So, Carolyn. Now we're going to call this Campetti. She's next. Gotta call my brother real quick. Campetti. Go ahead. Yeah. What's up, guy? I don't have a landscaper that I'm positive services Carrollton, but I probably have somebody I can send you that you can check if they do. Okay. And then, are you still good for 1 o'clock today? At my house? Yep. Cool. I'm hoping 1 o'clock will be the appropriate time because I'm gonna stop eating here in about an hour. So. Cool. All right. Bye. Do that. Look at all those people liking my video. I need to get off the YouTube. Oh, hi baby, love you. I didn't see you commented. Love you so much. My wife was commenting on my live stream. I love her very much. Love you, babe. Oh, and so is my father-in-law. Love you too. Love you too, Papa. Nope. I don't want to ban him. Love his comment. Cool. All right. Let's see who we got next. Miss Campetti. use the restroom again. Also, staying hydrated. So. If you've got any questions about real estate, I'm amazed that I couldn't see these comments on here. That actually kind of makes me kind of sad. I wonder why not. Settings? Interesting. Well, if you've got any questions about real estate or what it is I do for a living and how this all makes sense and how it all works, feel free to reach out to me directly, either on this Facebook, make a comment on YouTube, my personal cell phone that I may or may not regret giving out later in the future is 817-600-2077. As I'm sure plenty of you hear, that rings to this phone in my pocket. This phone quickly becomes overwhelmed, so for whatever reason I don't get in touch with you quickly, feel free to text, call, just blow me up. The people that really need to get in touch with me, they sometimes have to blow me up to get in contact because I stay pretty busy. But it's not because I don't care or I don't want to talk to you. It's just because that's the reality of being in real estate is there are some phone calls I know I have to take, and then there are others that if I don't have to take them, I'll let them go to voicemail and I'll get to them as soon as I can. So, but don't hesitate to reach out. I promise I care about you. Messaging me on Facebook is actually a really great way to get in contact sometimes too. So go find me there. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's call Ms. Campari. Use the restroom after this call also. Staying hydrated.
Hello.
Yes, hi, Mrs. Campetti.
Yes.
Hi, Ms. Campetti. This is Chris Beer. You spoke with one of my associates a couple days ago about your property there on Wildwood Circle.
Yes.
They mentioned you may be interested in selling that home, and I just was hoping you could, catch me up to speed. Let me know what your plans are for this one.
Okay, well, I got married and moved out of town.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
So I'm wanting to go ahead and sell the property.
Okay. Let's take a look here. So it looks like you're pretty close to the water. Are you in De Cordova or are you just outside of it?
I'm in Port Ridgely East.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. So is that one of the many HOA driven neighborhoods, or do you not have an HOA there?
We do, and it's one of the
Friendlier ones?
top ones that they want to move into.
Good, good. Yeah, we've got a couple of properties down there, Indian Harbor, Blue Water Shores. We've got one in De Cordova. Those HOAs can really kind of make or break the desirability down there. So I'm glad to hear that's one of the better ones. Can you give me an idea what kind of time frame are you looking at? Have you already moved out of the house?
I have a renter in it that I would need to give
Noticed.
30 days notice,
Okay.
which I'm in the process of doing
Sure.
this week.
Just so you're aware, I am an investor, but I'm also a licensed realtor. So really my job is more to give you options and information so you can make a sound business decision for what's right for you and your family. But with that said, if I were your buyer, I may potentially be interested in having you keep the tenant. Do you know if they'd be willing to stay?
I don't know, he keeps getting behind in his rent.
Well, then maybe I don't want to keep the tenant. I appreciate you telling me that. How long has he been there?
They've been there 8 months.
Okay, gotcha. And did they just have like a 6-month lease, or has it been month to month the whole time?
It's been month to month.
Okay,
But they recently, well, about 6 weeks ago, they split up.
okay,
She moved back home and
sure.
he's staying in the house.
I see. What would it look like for me to take a look at the property? Is that possible with them there?
Yes, I can arrange that.
Okay. Would I be, and I take it I probably wouldn't be meeting with you then, right? I would probably meet with them, or would there be an opportunity for you and I to meet and discuss options with it?
I would be there with you.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Okay, let me take a look at my calendar here real quick. What would work for you ideally?
Do you work on Saturdays?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. A Saturday except for the 27th.
Sure. I've actually got, let's see, so next Saturday's the 13th, and then the 20th. So either the 13th or the 20th would work for you?
Yes.
Let me make sure I'm not missing anything on this calendar. It doesn't look like I am. What time on Saturday works good for you? The 13th, I'm sorry.
The 13th. How about 11 o'clock?
I can do 11 o'clock. Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's see here. And then, Ms. Campetti, I see your name on tax roll as Gail. Is that what you go by?
Yes.
Okay. And what's a good email for you, Gail? And I'll send you my information so I'm not a stranger showing up on Saturday.
Okay. It's GAIL dot CAMPETTI at Gmail.
At Gmail. Okay. All right, Gail. What we'll do on Saturday is we'll go through the property and I'll go through all options with you. I like to be fully transparent and show you the numbers and the math on how we come up with our cash offer. And then I'll also show you what a retail sale would look like if we were to list it for you so that you can compare the two. And there are some in-between options as well that we'll discuss when we meet. Those tend to spur a lot of questions, but ultimately what I'm interested in is seeing what makes the most amount of sense for you, okay?
Okay.
All right, Gail. Well, you'll get an email from me here shortly and a little email confirmation just showing our appointment on Saturday, and I'll actually give you a call on Friday as well just to confirm that that time still works for you.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Gail. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking my call. I'll see you Saturday.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, great day. 3 for 3. Yeah, 3 for 3. Yeah. So, I have an appointment set. So, I'm going to go ahead and update this here from Miss Campetti to Gail Campetti. I wonder if her last name is still Campetti. If she's just recently been married.
She got recently married or
Mhm.
divorced?
No. She recently got married.
So that's why she moved out.
Yeah, she moved out, and yeah. So that's so we're gonna go ahead, log the call. Gail recently got married and moved out of town. And for the last 8 months, been renting the property on a month-to-month basis. The tenant has been struggling to pay in a timely manner, and as a result, will be receiving a 30-day notice to vacate. Appointment has been set to meet with her at the property on Saturday, 5/13 at 11 a.m. You cool driving to Granbury with me on Saturday?
Heck yeah.
Cool. I love that. So we're gonna schedule this as a meeting. Go ahead and save that. Gonna come in here and edit these meeting details. I'm gonna sync to Google Calendar. We're meeting at 11 a.m. on the date. We are meeting at 4434. I'm going to show you right after I schedule this one why I schedule it this way. Because then all I have to do is prepare for the appointment itself. So, boom. Scheduled that. Oh, I also want to go ahead and invite her to the appointment. And so what that'll do. So here we go. Now we have Gail Campetti. Right. This is going to give me a notification like, hey, it's time to leave. I can actually come in here and edit the notification it would give me because this is at about an hour away. So what I'll actually do is I'll say, hey, I want an hour notice before. That just says, get in the car, go. And right from here, all I have to do is press a button, pulls it up on my, I don't have to be searching for her address in the car or anything like that. I just get in the car, press a button, plug it in and drive.
That's what you did when you sent me the invite too.
Mm-hmm.
I did the same thing. I
Yeah.
put on my calendar, I give an hour notice.
Yeah.
And when I got the notification, I got on the car and I just
Yep.
badged it.
Yep. And it makes it way easy. Then that way I don't have to do too much thinking. I just, when it's time to go, it's time to go. I get in the car and go. Yep. Yep. And so there we go. One appointment set for today. 3 contacts in, and we got more people to call. So let's go ahead and dismiss Gail. Move on to Brandon. I actually spoke with Brandon. Yeah, I want to skip that one. Let's go to Paul. Now we're getting into leads that I have talked to already. Yep. Yeah, this guy I'm not supposed to call until the 17th, so I'm going to dismiss Paul. And Jay. And Mayor I spoke to. I actually don't want that property. I did research on that one. That was that residential lot in up near Possum Kingdom. I've run into a couple of those where just like there's so many for sale, it just doesn't make sense to buy that thing.
So it's worse if there's like too many for sale in the area.
Yeah, because then I got to compete against all those. So like even though there are good comps that supported the price that he wanted to get, they're supporting a price that he wants. So that means that he's potentially a good retail candidate. But unfortunately, there's also a bunch of other houses that are listed for about, or a bunch of other lots listed for about the same price that you'd be competing against. So the average time on market in there is like almost 6 months.
Too much time. For,
It takes too long to sell deals in there. Will it probably get that price? Maybe, but you're competing against all these other properties. The only way to get around competing with them is to be competitive, meaning you have to price
Higher
lower.
price, yeah.
Now,
and he probably doesn't want to do that.
correct. So, what's going on, buddy? I am right at an hour, actually, so you can go ahead and flick that light on, and we're going to call that a day for today, guys. There's our lead gen, 3 contacts, 1 appointment set, 3 great contacts. So, yeah, that'll be it for today.